Good evening, folks, and welcome to the Horror Corner. I'm your host, Sean Patrick Gershon. This week we are doing another tag video. Nice to see the tag videos making a little bit of a comeback. I always thought that was a cool way to kind of connect with my fellow YouTubers, and I made some friends that way. So really cool. This is the top 10 horror subgenres tag. And this was created by my buddy Hellhound from the HorrorMetal channel, along with Jackson Knight Productions. So definitely check out Hellhound's channel. He's a great guy. So this is kind of a play on the previous tag that was going around called the Top 10 Genres tag, where you pick 10 different genres of film and you pick your favorite film in that genre. Now we're focusing just on horror and all the different subgenres of horror, and there's a lot of them. So let's get into it, shall we? The first one is favorite torture genre film, or some people like to call torture porn. And my favorite would be Saw 2. Oh yes, there will be blood. Yeah, I did actually prefer Saw 2 over the original. I do enjoy the original film, of course. It had that great, shocking twist ending, and yeah, I love the story. But I liked Saw 2 a little bit better because we got to know Jigsaw a little more, and we saw a lot more of Jigsaw in the second film, and learn a little bit more of what he's all about. And Tobin Bell does such a great job in that character, you know. And I also liked seeing Donnie Wahlberg. I really enjoyed his performance as Detective Matthews, and him going at it with Jigsaw, you know. It was a great kind of rivalry there. Next one is going to be favorite found footage film. And my choice for that is going to be Cloverfield. Yeah. I know a lot of people will probably say Blair Witch Project, which definitely enjoy that film as well, but I like this one just a tad more. I thought this was a really creative way of making a giant monster film. You know, it's definitely a different way of doing it. And I enjoyed it. I thought they did a great job. I thought it was scary, you know. Just seeing from that one little bit of perspective on something huge that's going on outside in the city, you know. There's a giant monster out there destroying the city, and we're just kind of seeing it from this one little perspective, and it was interesting, you know. Next up, we have favorite sci-fi horror film. Oh yeah, definitely like some sci-fi horror, that's for sure. And to me, the ultimate sci-fi horror film is the original Alien. So yes, gonna agree with Hellhound on that. Absolutely love this movie. I think it's a phenomenal 5-star masterpiece. This is the ultimate sci-fi horror movie for me. It mixes both genres perfectly. Can't say enough about it. It's terrifying. You got the entire cast is great in this movie, not just Sigourney Weaver. And yes, Sigourney Weaver is amazing in this film. One of the greatest heroines of horror of all time. But the whole cast is great in this movie. And brilliant direction from Ridley Scott. Just a phenomenal movie. Number 4 is favorite zombie film. Definitely enjoy a good zombie film now and then. And to me, I'm going to pick 2 different choices for this one. Now, without a doubt, it's Dawn of the Dead overall, the 1978 masterpiece from George A. Romero, which was the sequel to Night of the Living Dead, which I feel is the scariest zombie film. But Dawn of the Dead, to me, is just the most epic zombie film. It's the best zombie film of all time, but nipping at its heels is Lucio Fulci's Zombie from 1979. I absolutely love this movie. So many times I want to say that this is the greatest zombie movie of all time, but the original Dawn of the Dead just slightly nicks it out. But anyway, some ways this movie is better as far as the gore. The gore effects in this film are unbelievable. And this is scary. This is a creepy ass zombie movie too, with that creepy soundtrack. Is amazing. Next up, favorite vampire film. For me, that's going to be Horror of Dracula from Hammer Films, starring the great Christopher Lee as Count Dracula and Peter Cushing as Van Helsing. To me, this is the absolutely perfect vampire film. I love everything about this movie from start to finish. I'm 100% invested in this film. I can never take my eyes off the screen. The cast is amazing. The score is amazing. The direction is amazing. The set design is amazing. I can't get enough of this movie. I can watch it 100 times and just never get tired of it. Best Dracula film. Best Hammer film. Best vampire film. Yeah. Horror of Dracula for me, 1958. Or as it was released in the UK as just Dracula. I kind of prefer the Horror of Dracula title, where that kind of separates it from all the other versions of Dracula. Next up is favorite werewolf film. Now, a lot of people are probably going to say American Werewolf in London, and that's hard to argue. That is an absolutely fantastic film. But my choice has always been The Howling. Just an awesome movie. I mean, the atmosphere in this film is incredible. I think it's scary. It does have some humor, not quite as much as like American Werewolf. The effects are phenomenal. And yeah, I think this has the best looking werewolf ever made on film. I love the cast. Dee Wallace is fantastic. Patrick McNee. Great cast. You got Kevin McCarthy in there. Belinda Belaski. And I love the characters too. I love every character in this movie. Especially Marcia Quist is a great female werewolf. I love her speech towards the end when she's like, "We can fit in, you said. We can live with them. You make me sick. Oh, you're through, Doc. She's ours now." She's got such a vampish quality about her, you know. Kind of reminds me of Angelina Jolie back in the day when she was kind of the bad girl, you know. I love her performance. She's a great character. I wish they had continued the franchise with Marcia's character. Then I would have been into it. But the Howling sequels, I can't do it. I'm sorry. Alright, guys. Number 7, favorite foreign horror film. And I'm going to do like Hellhound did. I'm going to get specific, and that's the Italian Giallo film. And I'm going to have 2 answers for that category as well. And these, to me, I think are dead even. Now, I didn't see Blood and Black Lace until recently. But I had always heard about it, that this is a classic Giallo film. And boy, was everybody right on this one. Because yes, this is a Giallo masterpiece. I love this movie. Directed by the great Mario Bava, who invented the Giallo. And next choice, of course, would be Deep Red, which Hellhound also selected. Yeah, just a fantastic Giallo film, and this is like the ultimate Dario Argento masterpiece. Love this movie. It's got some brutal kills. The visuals are amazing. The score is amazing by Goblin. This is just a perfect Giallo movie. Next up, number 8 is favorite ghost/paranormal film. And once again, I'm going to agree with Hellhound. The Shining is my absolute favorite ghost movie. What can you say about this movie? This movie is epic. Absolutely fantastic cast. Jack Nicholson is in one of his most iconic roles, and he's had a lot of them. And of course, the brilliant direction by Stanley Kubrick, which just really does it for this movie. I mean, the sense of claustrophobia that Stanley Kubrick creates for this movie is absolutely masterful. You feel like you're closed in this movie, even though they're inside a gigantic hotel, you know. The overlook is massive, you know. But you still get that sense, you know, because they're trapped in there with this killer, you know, on a murderous rampage. And, yeah. Jack Nicholson, what more can you say? So many great lines, and I think Shelley Duvall is very underrated, and she has a fantastic performance in the movie, you know. I feel like a lot more people should talk about her performance as being one of the great final girls of all time. Next up, we're going to have the slasher film. Of course, you gotta represent the slasher. Might be my favorite subgenre of horror, the slasher film. Love me a great slasher movie for sure. But I hate to beat a dead horse. I hate to sound like a broken record, but you know it's gonna be the original Halloween. It's just the masterpiece of all slasher films. This is the ultimate slasher film, the greatest slasher film, not to mention the greatest horror movie, period. In my mind, anyway. I've said so much about Halloween over the years. If you guys watch my channel, you know how much I love Halloween. And that is going to be my answer for that one. And the last subgenre of horror is the home invasion film. Definitely some good ones, for sure. And my personal favorite is going to be You're Next. Definitely enjoy this movie, and this was the return to horror for Barbara Crampton, who I love, you know. And it was great to see her make a comeback, and she does such a great job in this movie. And what a great final girl in this movie. I mean, she's just a badass. I mean, the stuff she does in this movie is amazing. Definitely got to be one of the great final girls of all time. And yeah, this is just an excellent home invasion thriller. Outstanding. Great movie. Definitely enjoy it. Alright guys, that is the top 10 subgenres of horror tag created by Hellhound from the HorrorMetal channel along with Jackson Knight Productions. Now it's my turn to tag some people, so I'm going to tag the Q's Reviews, Movie Review Time, that's Rob over at Movie Review Time. I'm going to tag Boogeyman Ben. Haven't tagged him in a while. I'm going to tag David's Horror, H&S Collectibles, and Cadaver Club. So yeah, the whole Coast to Coast crew there. And that's it. So guys, answer the call into the top 10 subgenres of horror tag. And thank you for joining me, Sean Patrick Urshan, in the Horror Corner. Tune in and stay scared.